Okay, so this is it, the one you've all been waiting for. Doctor Who Adventures. Issue 1, a brand new magazine, and this came out in April 2006, so it had only actually run for one season at this point, and this was just at the start of Season 2, so they were advertising the beginning of Season 2 here, Meet the New Monsters, and they've basically just got the Christmas special to use because David Tennant wasn't even the Doctor in the first season, so they're using kind of new stuff and then just using the Christmas special stuff again and maybe a bit from Series 1. And it came with 6 free gifts, a Who stationery set, and I remember it came with like a pencil case and a ruler, and I think the ruler survived the longest with me. So Doctor Who Adventures, I think, ran for a while. I think looking it up, it ran for like up until Matt Smith's, somewhere in Matt Smith's run, and then restarted again during Peter Capaldi's. But yeah, we had it every 2 weeks. This wasn't a weekly magazine. So let's have a look. Immediately advertising Animal Crossing Wild World, which is a good game. So when I told people about this magazine, everyone I know seemed to have owned this magazine and remember it. So who knew? They're back. This is just advertising Season 2 because Season 2 didn't exist back then. We had Doctor Who Confidential, which I think is coming back soon. Totally Doctor Who, if anyone remembers that show, which was just like, Doctor Who was so popular around that time, they had another show which was purely based around giving a minute-long clip to the next episode of Doctor Who coming out that week. It was so weird. And the rest of it was just like cringy children just talking about what they liked about Doctor Who. And there's, I think, the actual Doctor Who magazine, which I'm sure was running through all like the era when Doctor Who wasn't actually on TV. And then we've got the website. The super duper old website, but I remember I used to visit about once an hour when I was a kid. I clicked on the news section just to find out any bit of news at any point. But yeah, so this is advertising the first episode of Season 2, which came on April the 15th. So this came out 18th of April, well, presumably a little bit before. So this was just before Season 2 came out, basically as a massive promotional tool. And moving on, we've got Explaining Who's the Doctor. So if you've accidentally bought this magazine without knowing what Doctor Who is, then here is a rundown. And yeah, we're just using kind of weird stock footage because none of Season 2 has aired yet. So here's just like some PNGs of the monsters from Season 1, and then just here's a promotional photo of David Tennant explaining some very vague stuff. And here we have what everyone was waiting for. Stormforce, new crew needed. If you want to join the Royal Navy Lifeboats charity, then do. Who actually did that through this? Who went, yes, I like Doctor Who, but I also desperately want to join the lifeboats. Then we got a comic. So we've got a comic with them. So this is kind of bridging the gap between the Christmas special and the second season, because yeah, they hadn't really gone on any adventures at this point. So this is probably one of the first adventures they went on canonically. And then win a life-size Dalek, be the envy of all your mates, and win a life-size Dalek from this planet Earth. And I gotta say, I do actually own a life-size Dalek from this planet Earth, and it's a pretty good thing. I like it. Okay, so I think with this, you needed to like cut out these tokens and collect them from from a few issues. They weren't just making this an easy thing for anyone to enter. It was like you need to commit to buying a lot of magazines. So again, this is just looking at the only episode they can really talk about so far is the Christmas Invasion, because that's the only one that's got David Tennant in, who they're trying to market as the Doctor. So that's the only one they're really using, because Christopher Eccleston, I think, has only really been mentioned like on one page all the way back here, the same as all the other Doctors, whereas David Tennant has only been in one episode at this point. So they're just really just desperately looking for anything to talk about, and that is literally just catching up on what happened in the Christmas Invasion. Then moving on, we've got some games, Close Encounters. So I think this is just like weird pixelated zoomed in versions of monsters, figure out who they are, and then just a vague little cartoon about Cassandra. See, this is what I'm talking about. They have so little content in this magazine that they've literally just given a whole page just to a single quote from A Christmas Invasion, and then just a promo image of Rose. And yep, another one, just a poster of the Daleks in the parting of the ways. And then, yep, another poster. Yeah, I remember these magazines, they'd always have the posters right in the middle, and you'd always have to try and get them out through the staple, and you'd tear them right here and here. You'd rip them out because you were just an idiot kid, and just tear a big hole in your new poster. Tales from the TARDIS, so Rose's top 10 scary moments. So here we are actually acknowledging a bit of season 1 by exploring Rose, not the Doctor. As you can see, we get the back of the Doctor's head, and that's about it. Just here are her best moments. Number 1 being where she first encounters the Dalek. Then we've got some TARDIS teasers, some monsters. So what are these? Anagrams, a word search. Thankfully this one hasn't been filled out this time. You can win a copy of Genesis of the Daleks. And then you can cut this out and then put it in a big fact file if you're a freak. So this is the Doctor's data on the Daleks, so all the facts you need to know about the Daleks. So we've got some stuff you could buy, the products from back around this time. There really wasn't much apart from kind of just Dalek material. This is actually how I got into Doctor Who, because I had not seen the first season, but on that Christmas 2005, my mum really committed to the idea of me definitely having to like Doctor Who by getting me the first season on UMD, which was the PSP DVD system they had. So I first watched Doctor Who on my PSP, and she also got me a couple Dalek action figures, and she was just like, yeah, you're going to like this show, I'm not really giving you the choice. But yeah, obviously I massively became a fan. It worked. So I remember these, they had the Doctor Who Easter eggs in this poorly shaped Dalek. And yeah, this was, I think, the one that I got for Christmas. The big Dalek where you pressed a little button, one of the balls, and it would speak. And then I also think I got the two little ones where they kind of battled each other in a black and gold design, which, yeah, they never used in the series. Here we've got the action figures, got some mugs, and some backpacks. You were pretty cool if you were seen with those at school. Not even, like, ironically, like, literally, that was the peak of British culture in primary schools around this time. And then, if you want to subscribe to the magazine already, if you're already impressed with what you've got, then just sign up and just be a fan of this for life. Oh, okay, a big Slovene mask. If you want to look horrific, then, yeah, you can. Slovene were always, like, just a not good monster. But they were just, like, it was too kiddie, I feel. But also really graphic in the fact they ripped people's skin off and wore it, but then also made it, like, undermine the whole thing just by making them fart. I really don't get what they were going for in season 1. Okay, so then we've got more competitions. So you can win some CDs. You can win a big remote control Dalek. You can win the game. And some books. The quiz book. Oh, I remember I got that in primary school. And whenever we'd get on the school bus to go swimming, we would just be going through that quiz book and just testing each other over and over again. Next we have Sycorax Secrets. So this is just going behind the scenes of the Christmas special. Next issue we look at the making of New Earth. So I think like every 2 weeks they'll have about like 2 episodes worth of content for Doctor Who, so that they can look at actually like 2 episodes worth of stuff and then promote like the next episode. Except for this magazine ran for the whole year, so you can see a bit of a problem there. For when the 13 weeks are up, when Doctor Who was airing, you've just got nothing, which I kind of do want to explore those issues where they just have nothing to promote, so they're just retreading old ground over and over again, just hoping these idiot kids won't realise. And then we've got part 2 of the comic, where we got to do fan art. Who was sending fan art before issue 1? This must have just been the staff's family. Oh, then they've got the Doctor Who alarm clock. I remember this Doctor Who alarm clock. There was like a little Dalek on top that you tapped and then it'd say exterminate. And then answers to the quiz stuff. Next time we've got a big whoopee cushion for the Slovene and some free holographic stickers. I do remember getting those stickers. I remember sticking them on literally everything. And then you also get this little pull-out in it, which promotes even more stuff you can buy. So we've got socks, we've got bedding, some backpacks, some pyjamas. I do vaguely remember owning those pyjamas. And then there's some signatures, which that's actually pretty cool. Signatures by people who worked on the show. Some DVDs, a remote control Davros. Even more. See, this is really cool then. So these are just like signed plaques for each episode. Like that one's signed by John Barrowman. That's really cool. And these are only, what, £15? That's really good value. And then, I remember I did own this. This giant inflatable Dalek. I remember this used to scare my dog to death. And I think it just kind of existed in my room until it eventually just deflated on its own. The action figures, there's some more Daleks, the board game, a big cookie jar, 2-foot TARDIS cookie jar, that's massive, for £140. Well, might as well get a regular sized TARDIS for that price. Unit set, the little TARDIS gift box. So I did have the Dalek and Cyberman from that. I remember, I think they had that in the hobby shop, but I got a little Dalek and Cyberman from an era of the show I'd never seen. Some Doctor Who cufflinks, Doctor Who ties, the City of Death, K9 remote control. I vaguely remember having that. Yeah, the 2.5 inch one. Yeah, the tiny little one. Yeah, the tiny little K9. Yes, I did have that. And then some more giant cookie jars. And on the back, the sonic screwdriver. That was the ultimate toy every kid had. It was so cool. It like lit up with a UV light, and it had like, it was also a pen, but the pen had like invisible ink that you would then use the sonic screwdriver to light up, and the pen part would, like, it was interchangeable with a normal pen, and as a result, that bottom of the pen part would always go missing, and everyone would, after about a month, everyone would just have like half a sonic screwdriver. I do remember it was the coolest moment though. After the summer holidays in primary school, I met my best friend. We were obviously playing Doctor Who at break time, and at one point I pulled out a sonic screwdriver from my blazer, and he did the same. And we both just looked at each other, and we knew. It was an incredible moment. We've got the Dalek Hunter LCD game, a Doctor Who watch, some more books, Dimensions in Time, some mugs, a TARDIS phone alert. From the old phone. So if you had a super old phone, you could also make your TARDIS ring at the same time. I remember when, after the first season, I spent so much money on my phone. You could text a number and get Dalek voice clips of them just saying exterminate that I could just listen to over and over again because I was a weird kid. Dalek bottle stopper. Yeah. So then moving on. Oh, that is the end of a magazine. At the end we've just got an advert for Jetix for Monsters Warriors. And that's it. That is Doctor Who Adventures. We are going to be looking at another Doctor Who magazine, probably next week. So stay tuned if you want to see me read more Doctor Who magazines. Bye!